Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use a yet an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the powers to chant. Jah give her the powers to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice. Bigger.
Because the other preparation when it comes on to repatriating the mine and the wallet is you have to increase your income. The reality on earth is that repatriation have a cost. Everywhere on the planet, inflation is taking place. The cost of goods and services is rising. So right now is not a time where you have time to gaze. You know, if you're an adult, you know, if you're a youth and you're going through life, give thanks. As an adult male, there's no time right now you should be sit down and relax too much. Right now, is a calm before the storm. You know what I mean? So you have to be, you know, whatever your income source is, looking at other alternate income streams, how you can generate that additional income. Repatriation comes with a cost. You're going to have to acquire land, purchase land, buy land, have it surveyed, plan architectural drawings, all these different steps in the process of relocating. If you're going to buy a property, inspection, engineer, all of that need to happen. All of these things have a cost. So when you're thinking about that relocation, you know, you have to be thinking about setting up the income streams that are going to pay you, because you can't go there expecting a job.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice. Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile, Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's a beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. From Mama,
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youth them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title fit them property.
yes, this beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Dejazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm a creative industry attorney, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, I'm an author. And right now, I am the host of the Lion's Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where we bring frontline of Rastafari, the topics, everything that we're looking at from a Rastafari Pan-African perspective. We give thanks. Again, we have to start that way for all of the support, the growth. At the time of filming this, we are at the cusp of 1,600 subscribers getting ready to pass over that milestone. We give thanks. We've gone over 20,000 views in the last 28 days. The platform is growing. We've gone past 13,000 unique viewers in the last 28 days. So we have to just start with gratitude. Lion Pride showing up, representing in the comments, representing on the lives, you know. So we're creating the ecosystem. It's coming to life. It's manifesting. I want to just say give thanks to the Most High for the manifestation. We have to start there. Now, today's topic, we're going to talk about repatriation. We talk about the building of Zion. That's when we reach home. But repatriation, the process of the return. We're going to talk about it because our last Lion Talk Live, we had Bongo Wisely, a mighty interview with Bongo Wisely. Mighty Bongo Wisely talking about the reparation for resettlement and really thinking about repatriation on a mass scale and, you know, identifying resources that would allow for communities, you know, to be resettled within the continent. They're building a skills bank there within the Caribbean Rastafari organization. So, you know, this got me thinking about the process because I myself, for those who are watching the channel who know from early time or who have gone and watched the content, welcome all of my new subscribers. But for those foundation, and if you're in the first 100 of the Lion Pride, drop a comment, big up the brethren them who identify themselves. I want to know the early Lion Pride. When we get some resources, we want to do something special for the item. So drop a comment. You know, we can verify still, but we want the item sound forward, you know, down in the comments. But one of the things, if you have been watching from early, you will know that I purchased land in Ghana.
Bantu Kingdom, look at that, that's exciting. This is just the midpoint. And this is the first time the whole Bantu families are united on the land. What are you saying? So this is the Bantu Tur.
This is supposed to be senior. But, oh, this is washed off.
So that's somebody else?
Yeah, so I was like, I think they knocked that because this wasn't clear before. None of this was here. And actually, no. None of this was clear. None of this was clear before. So this is the out. So, so like when you look at it on the map, so this is where senior starts and it goes back. Back to that pillar. The pillar's right back there. I filmed it yesterday. Where I walked through, we walked the perimeter.
So this is the Bantu Kingdom.
And that, you know, we are in the process, the Bantu family, of making that return. And, you know, most of the activities that I'm doing right now are consistent with that vision. But I'm still here, living in the West. And there are things that we have to do to prepare. So that preparation for repatriation, that's what we want to talk about, because a lot of brethren are in the same position who, you know, seek to return, and we want to get this topic to the forefront. And I'm going to talk about 5 things that we must do to prepare for the repatriation. And I want to big up Mama Desta in Ethiopia, who come up with the term, or at least the first I've heard the term prepatriation. We use that within the Habesha ecosystem as well. That was one of the inspiration for the KWASI project, you know, is this concept of we got to prepare, we got to have institutional framework to prepare for the return.
So you can see some of the sight lines from the Bamboo Pavilion. There's a bird fight going on here. What's going on? Here you can see that's the farm that we just were visiting. So just providing some updates on what's new at Habesha KWASI. The building of Zion continues.
Rastafari!
Them could never conquer the mountains. Thousands of years and counting. Ethiopia rise again unto the world. Now we are announcing. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound,
to allow for that exchange to happen. So I want to talk about it. You know, this has been something that, as we say, has been a topic from a long time. As an actionist, we've activated, you know, this. If you look at the Building of Zion series on the channel, you'll see the building of the Kazi project. Bingishan, we talked to Bingishan. Again, we have some more Habesha content coming up with the Organic Fest. Big up Habesha family, because Harvest Fest is coming up down in Atlanta. But this concept of the return, repatriation, you know, when we talk to Priest Lamont and go forward and watch the Lion Talk Live with Priest Lamont, technical difficulties, but we talked about 7 miles of Black Star Line, high water ships, you know, the Bobo Shanti concept of the repatriation and the return. And, you know, one of the things on this channel that you will hear, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. You don't have to be Rastafari, you know, just a Pan-African, or you just like to see an epic story unfold, which is the rising of the Rastafari family and this international repatriation, which has already begun, you know, I say, in places like Ghana, Senegal, you know, Tanzania, Kenya. All of these places are seeing an influx of black people from the West. You know, there's a quiet calm before the storm is happening, and we're going to talk about that. But let's first just big up our sponsor, Ramia King Design. You see the tumbler, I always have it here. Big up CMOS Life. CMOS, we getting ready to have some more information on CMOS. That brand is bubbling. I was in a meeting, and trust me, it's a mighty endeavor. So big up CMOS, bringing that healthy CMOS to the mass. You know, health is wealth, and we're going to talk about that as part of the preparation for repatriation. So let's get forward to the topic. Before we go forward, remember to support the Haile Selassie's Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, my first work. We go into the Ethiopian history leading up to the birth of Haile Selassie I, which is the culmination of the book. This is the first volume. We're going to document the entire life of Haile Selassie. It's written the same fashion like an epic fantasy, because I do believe it's the greatest story to unfold. You know, this story of the man which now has spawned a global uprising. It's something that has to be told by the lions. You know, we read about it in different books, but this is the first volume with the lion cubs. Then, you know, the sons and daughters get to tell the story of Kadamawi Haile Selassie, how it needs to be told. So check it out. You know, a lot of it from the perspective of Ras McConnell, but we're going to Menelik, Theodros, Johannes. That's why we call it The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings. Epic story of kingdom versus kingdom, the rising, you know, the scramble for Africa, all of these things happening, the fall of the mighty kingdoms of the Ashanti, of the Dahomey, you know, the Yoruba. You know, a lot of these kingdoms were under colonial rule by this time of 1892. We talk about that in the book. What was happening in Jamaica, that's in the book. You know what I mean? So support the book. We have personalized copies. We know it's coming into the holiday season. We might not celebrate the holiday, but guess what? Your uncle Ras or Uncle Dejazmatch can send you a book which you can even help to enrich and enlighten you about Ethiopian history. So we have an understanding of why Ethiopia was the only African country that was never conquered or colonized, you know, from that time until this time. So very important in terms of the Pan-African. I think Ethiopia is the missing link in the Pan-African struggle, but that's another story. let's talk about what the topic is today, which is preparation for repatriation. 5 aspects of preparation I think is crucial, and we know that the demographics, we have over 95% brethren that watch this channel, only 5% female viewership. We're going to try to do our best to get that up, but that's the reality. So this is to the brethren, especially you're preparing either for the thyself or for a family, you're leading a family. The preparation time is now. Don't get comfortable in Babylon. Start making your preparation. And I had a brethren in the comments, of European descent, big up yourself, wrote a long comment about repatriation and different things. And I share the sentiment that every nation, repatriation is not just for the African, because if we have, the whole world has to return to balance, then everyone from every nation would have to return, and do their part to return their region to that righteousness, because righteousness cover the earth like waters cover the sea. You know what I mean? So every nation, that prepare, that return, because just like Babylon is worldwide, Zion manifestation should be worldwide. As the descendants of Africans, we are responsible for the African continent. We have to play our role in that sense. But a European, Europe, Japanese, Japan, all of our nations require that love and to know the truth that the king has reigned from King David line. All of them need to know. So every race, everyone who say they're following this trad have a duty to unfold within their own region. That being said, as a black man, African, and you desire, because some people going to stay here, that is Haile. Mama is calling. Those who answer the call will answer the call. We don't argue that part right now. Many called, few chosen. All of that. Everybody do what you feel is good for the eye. Right now, we don't have time for the back and forth. Right now, it's action time. So, 5 things. Number 1 is repatriate the mind. And with the mind, you have to repatriate your wallet. Very crucial in terms of just gearing your mind about where you're going. You know what I mean? It's a different mindset. When you decide to make that step, you have to reorient yourself to a different part of the planet. So your mind has to be thinking there, because where your thought goes, that's where the physical is going to follow. If you're not thinking about repatriation, if it's not concerned, you're in your day-to-day grind, you come home, you jump on a video game, or you watch TV, or you scroll to your phone, and you just recover. Repatriation is not going to manifest and drop into your lap. Now there is the government to government, the reparation for resettlement. We'll talk about that toward the end of the video in terms of, yes, that's going to happen, but I think it's irresponsible as a brethren to wait, because that could be for our grandchildren. We don't know how life is going to unfold. We can work toward an outcome, but we don't know, and we have to be honest with ourselves as brethren. We don't know. So be responsible, and play that role if that's the role you're going to play. Take it serious. That means economics. Are you saving your economics? A lot of brethren burn herb. Herb have a cost. Unless you're growing yourself, it have a cost. What is your budget toward this expenditure? Can it be cut down? And some of that money diverted into achieving that goal of repatriation, investing into a business. Because the other preparation when it comes on to repatriating the mind and the wallet is you have to increase your income. The reality on earth is that repatriation have a cost. Everywhere on the planet, inflation is taking place. The cost of goods and services is rising. So right now is not a time where you have time to gaze. If you're an adult, if you're a youth and you're going through life, you give thanks. As an adult male, there's no time right now you should be sit down and relax too much. Right now is a calm before the storm. You know what I mean? So you have to be, whatever your income source is, looking at other alternate income streams, how you can generate that additional income. Repatriation comes with a cost. You're going to have to acquire land, purchase land, buy land, have it surveyed, plan architectural drawing, all these different steps in the process of relocating. If you're going to buy a property, inspection, engineer, all of that need to happen. All of these things have a cost. So when you're thinking about that relocation, you have to be thinking about setting up the income streams that are going to pay you, because you can't go there expecting a job. You have to be able to find a way to generate money. Preferably we have the internet, look at things, and this is why building a brand, building a business, whatever you do, having the ability to have that direct to consumer relationship, crucial right now. And I advise it for all Rastafari, all Panafrican, all black conscious, all humanity. I advise everyone to look at different ways that they can own businesses, small things that can make money while you're sleeping. The reading Ras has to talk about reading. You have to read about where you're going, whether that's online or buying books and getting your mind ready, identifying the areas. If you don't know which country on the continent you want to return to, then you reading about different ones that you think you may like based on your own preference and what your unique skill set is that you bring to the table, or whatever business you're looking to establish. Or maybe you're reading and you're seeing that there's a niche. Number 2, plan a visit. There's a lot of brethren I hear with, once I make a trip to Africa, I'm never coming forward again, It sounds romantic, but it's not realistic, brethren, and very unlikely. You give yourself challenges that you don't need to give yourself, because if you travel, make a visit, you can put certain things in place. You can set yourself and give yourself more chance of success, because you know what you're going into, what you can plan for. Because the West is still a tremendous place to get a resource, a tremendous freedom in terms of business, in terms of good internet access, access to resources. So if you're in the West, you should be maximizing on all these opportunities while you're in the West, to prepare yourself to prosper at home, because we're not going home for poverty. That don't have nothing to do with His Majesty. I challenge anyone, to show where His Majesty advocates poverty or not living to your highest potential. You're not going to find it, brethren and sisters. So plan a visit. You know what I mean? The countries of interest, it might be 1 or 2 countries. Make sure you research. And then once you start research, you research some more. And then once you research some more, then you research some more. You know what I mean? So you have an overstanding. And when you visit, the longer the stay, the better, because in and out, 10 days, you should never go to Africa for less than 10 days, to be honest, unless it's emergency or something. But 10 days, yeah, but it's better if you can stay a month. Try to plan and stay a month so you can get a vibration of the place, do some things, and nothing happens quickly in Africa. So It's better. The longer you can have boots on the ground, is the better when you make your visit. Number 3, watch some content on YouTube about those who made the journey. We are here on the second largest search engine on the planet, which is YouTube, and you have some great vloggers and people who are on the front line. It's not like one time where you just have to wait and listen to rumors or hear somebody talk on the phone. You can see the live footage of the people in the countries that you want to go to, talking about the issues that you want to talk about. So take advantage, brethren and sisters. Instead of scrolling through your phone and you get lost, go on YouTube, put in Ghana, visit, put in Ethiopia, vlogger, put in South Africa, Ivory Coast, Gambia, name them. People are there documenting. This is the information age, the age of Aquarius. Everything you think of and you can manifest. And this is why repatriation of your mind is number 1. Because if you're not on that frequency, on that stream, you're not going to know all these things exist. This is a gateway that's open, a spiritual gateway to flow on that frequency and to vibrate on that frequency and to live that reality. Because right now, the realities are clashing. Right now, in some people, reality is just, it wouldn't go there. So, number 4, prepare your goodie, or Babylon would say body, and your health. What that means? While you are here, as you vision your repatriation, get your health in order. If you put on some pounds over the years, we're not judge you. Your belly big, we're not judge you. But do something about it, brethren and sisters. You know what I mean? Once you have life, there's opportunity to rise. Rise and shine, exercise. Look at your live it, what they would call diet. You know what I mean? What are you putting in your structure? Intermittent fasting, I always block that sound, not eating after a certain time. You can cut off your eating at 6 p.m. good, 7 p.m. good, But once the sun goes down, you don't need to be eating no big food, Winter time, you might, like I say, 6 p.m. it might be dark already. But you choose a time, and then in the morning my window is 10 a.m. So these things help tremendously to make sure that you're fit, because when you're on the continent, although they have hospitals of top order, you're going to pay out of pocket. And it's not the same in terms of hospitals being everywhere. You might be out in the bush and thing. You might have to do a 4-mile walk one day. You don't want to be, hyperventilating because you're in poor shape. So get yourself in order. You know what I mean? Prepare your goodie and your health. That's number 4. Finally, number 5, which is one of the most important. Connect with people on the ground. No one is an island. No one stand alone. I see it. Make sure, there are groups now. There are networks, reach out, find people, you know what I mean? You can go on tours, so you can go and build that network. People are doing tours to all of the different countries. So tap in and meet people on the ground and build relationships. You know what I mean? This is a homecoming. God itself, like Esau Zion in a vision, and it was like a family reunion. The man same seat, God itself. So who are we to doubt the brethren? It's a family reunion. That means you're meeting your long lost cousin, your brother, you know what I mean, your auntie. All of these people are there. So build those relationships, connect with the people on the ground, stay connected, and that's why it's good to visit. So you can start to build these relationships. And again, if you can go in with an existing network of brethren and sistren is always the best thing to do. So you can leverage their relationships and then you can gradually build on your own. But this is the way to prepare for repatriation, you know. Now, I said I would talk about the government to government. This is where Bongo Wisely was talking about the reparation for repatriation, where as part of the reparation, you know, they would be seeking from Great Britain, from France, all of these things, allotments of monies, lands, you know, equipment, to develop settlements that would be able to sustain the ones from the West who desire to return. So, you know, they are creating a skills bank, and this is a very noble cause and worthy cause, and it will be fulfilled. The challenges, as I say, the negotiation, it takes leverage. Power concedes nothing, you know. So these are we know the laws of negotiation, how power works. So in the interim, you know what I mean? This is where we have the action. Lion Pride. I know that a lot of the IDM have Africa in your vision. That's why you love the channel. I just want to share that right now, be in a mindset of preparedness. If you were one of those people playing whole heap of video game and you sit down and burn a spliff and everything nice, don't beat yourself up and be hard on yourself. But wake up, Mount Zion. The earth is shifting. A lot of things are happening. We're just in the early warm-up stages. And as I said to Bongo Wisely, what I realized traveling to Ghana, being in DC during COVID, it does matter where you are in time of global catastrophe. And being in Africa, the advantage, or being in a tropical place, you know, the abundance of food, not having to depend on the grocery store, the trucks that are coming into the city, not having to depend on these things in the event that things get sticky, being able to drive out, check a farmer, man, you know what I mean, and get your needs met is very attractive to I, based on the type of shenanigans that are being played out on earth right now. But everyone is different. Some people comfortable in the city, they have a nice house, nice job, them waiting on their pension. We need to find a way to work and to bridge the gap and still to circulate the Rastafari, the Pan-African and the black dollar within a conscious ecosystem that allows that interaction, and it's happening. The beautiful thing about anything on this channel is it's happening. All you have to do is go to Atlanta right now and see how much African clothes in the system. I remember even with Habesha, we used to bring clothes. Bingi Sean would come with all of the African clothes, and even right now, we're not doing that so much. There's so much clothes from Ghana because so many ones are going back and forth, bringing clothes into the system right now. Same thing in the DMV. You know, you have several stores. My youth have to wear African clothes to go to school. There are several stores now that carry African clothes, so that exchange. We talk about the music, Afro beats, you know, has infiltrated the system. Africa is here. That interaction, you know, people talking about Afro beats at Carnival are complaining and all of these things, but guess what's happening? The metaphysical return is happening. The merging of the cultures, hip-hop, R&B, you know, all of these black music, you know, coming together. When you go to a party, these are the things that's happening. And the music is going to tell you, because the music comes from the soul of the people. So the music is going to show you the fullness before it even manifests fully on earth. So it's a great time to be alive. I'm happy to be frontline person, and we built this channel so that we can make sure the narrative is clear as we return into this epic part of the story of our people. I was the first in my family from over 500 years to step foot on the African continent. My parents followed. My brother is gonna probably make the trod next year, but I was the first. So many of my generation are the first to return from the Holocaust. You know what I mean? So this is an epic time in any story to see this unfolding. We want to use this channel to be one of the outlets where you can see it, you can hear directly from a Rastafari perspective. We will have our Pan-African brothers here, but Rastafari have to have a place where the narrative can be on our terms. We have contributed much to this unfolding, you know, holding the line, and to all of the soldiers, hold the line. Powerful things. Rastafari's best years are ahead. And I know that. And I'm here to say that. Why? Because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion's Voice.
Lion Voice. Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile, Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile.
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youth them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title for them property.
Yes, this beautiful continent, better control, mama. Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile for mama.
I love you, mama, your heart never harden. I wanna turn all your slums into garden. I wanna stop all of your youths from starving. I wanna stop all of your tribes from warring. So much to say, so many feelings. We both been hurt, we both need healing. Since the League of Nations you've been appealing. You stand up against them backdoor dealing. I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I seen Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. Then I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long in America. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw.
So be still, all enemies of Jah. Know that He is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Lion Conqueror. And it was said of Ethiopia, the highest himself shall establish her. His Majesty was born there.
And I know that I love you so. There's no place that I'd rather go. Tired of walking through slush and snow. Repatriation, that's a must I know.
Yes, into this beautiful continent.